Day 43. So a reasonably good day today. It's been mostly kind of positive. There's been a few little drops back into the negatives and it has been a little bit fluctuating like it was yesterday, but on the whole more in the positive than the negative. And it's hard to explain how dramatic that change is for me. It may be different for other people, but for me, even going from just a little bit positive to a little bit negative, it feels like somebody's totally dimmed the lights on the entire world. Everything's less bright and vibrant and colourful. And I feel heavier, my breaths feel heavier, sound becomes less clear and a bit fuzzy, and everything just seems a bit pointless and mundane. And then the flip side of that happens when it goes back up again, because everything seems like it's been vamped up, and it's like you turn up the brightness and contrast on the TV, and there's like an energetic buzz about everything around that just feels good to be a part of. And I think the sensation of dropping back from the positive into the negative is a bit like when you're out in the sun during the summer and it's bright and everything's great, and then you walk indoors all of a sudden and no matter how many lights are on, you can't really see anything and it's a bit disorientating and everything seems a little bit whoa. And there was an interesting moment today when I was talking to a lady who sits down a couple of seats from me in my office, where I was midway through a conversation with her and that switch went, and I think she could see, even though I was probably normal to anybody who didn't have a little bit of insight, she could just see that there was a slight energy difference and potentially me being a little bit more, but still carrying on the conversation pretty much as normal. And because I'm now so far away from worrying about whether or not people can see it in me or what people think from the outside because I'm too busy hiding it, because I don't hide it at all, it's quite interesting to be able to look outwardly at her response, and you can see the cogs are turning and she's kind of going, ooh, okay, something's slightly different, I'm not sure what it is, but something's changed. And she was trying to still have the conversation that we were having while having an internal dialogue with herself, as if to say, do I need to say anything? Do I just carry on? And she chose to just carry on, which was absolutely the right thing to do in that situation, because, you know, I don't want to make a big deal of, oh, I feel a little bit sad all of a sudden. You know, actually, I just want to work through it. And actually, I think by the end of the conversation, I'd kind of worked through it and back up to where I was before the little switch happened. And there's been quite a few people that I've just bumped into in the last couple of days as well that I've not seen in a while, that obviously have seen bits of this journey, and it's interesting seeing the response to people that I would usually just kind of walk up to and say, hello, how you doing? We'd have a very impersonal conversation, suddenly they see me and they have a big smile on their face, and you can see the instinct is to walk over and give me a hug. But then they question whether or not they should, because they know we don't necessarily have a close, intimate relationship. And that's a shame, because hugs are good, they release endorphins and build connections through touch. And there should be more hugs in the world. So if I do see you and you want to give me a hug, come and give me a hug. Absolutely fine. But on the whole, feeling slightly better today and moving forwards again. And the days seem to be flying by. So share, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.